All right, this is Daniel Prey recording for AEP 858, Module 16, looking at applying data and data analysis to ensure my continuous improvement plan. Start by just talking a little bit about what we're currently doing at USD 323. I think our initial FastBridge program we've come to, we used to go to Ames Web. We're now into the FastBridge program, and we got the training on it, so we had professional development. We started by giving the assessments, lots of data, lots of assessments, even which assessments to give. Then we're looking at taking a little bit of time to think about it. We didn't have much. Taking time to look at the data and understand what it means. Looking at my benchmarks and kind of trying to separate the data out, what students really need, what are their interventions that they need. Then we have to have time to implement, and then hopefully once we start the implementation, which we're already 2 months in and we haven't started that implementation, now we need to look at reflection, evaluation, regroup, and then it starts all over. Before you know, it's going to be report cards, and the next round of testing comes in January for us. So my role as a future administrator and what I've done so far is just talk to my staff, not my staff, but my principal's staff. I said, I need a little bit of time. Can I talk to them about just data in general? And I just gave them the information of this is why data is important. So I'm at a smaller school. I have a lot of teachers that don't want to change, and so my biggest challenge right now is trying to get them on board and figure out, why is this data a good thing? So this class has really helped me in, I've just been, all these classes have been at the right spot. So this class specifically has been good for me to stand up in front of them and say, this is why we need to look at data. This is why it's important. This is why schools are using this around the country. So that's where I'm at with what I've done so far at my new school, and definitely coming from a big school of 500 in our South District to our North District of a school of 170.
My question is, do you think a lot of their hesitation comes from the new FastBridge, or do you think it's from just the MTSS process in general? Where do you think it comes from?
It's a good question. I definitely think the newness, and this district, or excuse me, this school, Westmoreland, didn't even use Ames Web. So they were strictly using Star Reader and Star Math and state assessment. So that's it. They didn't buy into Ames Web like our South school did. So now we're throwing something on top of them that is brand new. So that's definitely one of the hesitations. And the training was not as well as I thought it was going to be. So that was definitely another, the teachers don't understand what they're supposed to be doing outside of giving the assessments. It's computer based, so it's not too bad there. But now that we have this data, okay, there's a lot of colors and there's some exclamation points, what do we do next?
You remind me of the quote from the article, Becoming Vacuum Cleaners Without a Bag. I just thought that was interesting. But in pushing the rest of your staff, have you had any movement there? I mean, are people listening? Do you feel like you're having any progress there with them?
So I think it's been good, and my principal is on kind of the same wavelength. He was my baseball coach. He was my athletic director when I coached wrestling for him. So he said, I need you to speak up because people at the school aren't hearing. And eventually he's just going to have to step in and do something. But he wanted me to say what we're doing down at St. George at the South School. So I have got things in line, and I told them, I said, let's try one day. Surely we can give up one day a week, and then hopefully to go to 2, to go to 3, and to get that real intervention time that we need. So I have teachers ready to go. I have 8 teachers signed up. Even the principal said he'd take a group. We're ready to rock. I just have one teacher that is really holding on She just wants her time. And I even told her, I said, you take all the kids that are on track, go right ahead. And her other big hang up is the validity of this testing this first time. So hopefully that changes next time we give it and it gets easier. But for me, I'm not going to be here that long. My plan is to become a principal in 2 years. So I want to help now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What do you think it's going to take for that staff to change?
I think it's going to take...
What's going to be the turning point?
Yeah, a kick from the principal, I think. And you talked about it on a different video, those little victories. And I'm a huge Dave Ramsey guy. That's what it made me think of when you said that. That little victory of paying something off. That little victory of, okay, this might be working for this kid. What's that teacher doing that I'm not doing? So hopefully my student scores next time, because I kind of do my own MTSS in my room. And I do a lot of things outside of their regular curriculum with those kids based off of the FastBridge data. Fluency, phonics, comprehension, and vocabulary. And those are the things I try and target right now with my own kids. So maybe that's something they'll see, and then they'll be like, okay, what's he doing?
Yeah.
So we'll see. So that's my question. Is any other advice for me going forward? Obviously, I'm just a teacher right now, so I don't have huge pull, but subtle things maybe that I can do to help out and get them thinking that way.
Yeah, I would reiterate what you said there, is trying to find some mastery experiences for that staff. Especially those that are willing to jump on board. Like, how do you make it so that the wins are visible and everybody sees that learning and gets excited about it? And then whether just through your class or those 7 other teachers, the idea then would be that 8th teacher hopefully at least feels some vicarious experience there and sees that success and says, okay, maybe I should really consider how I'm using this data as well. So that would be my advice, I guess.
Yeah. I like that we, at my old school, we used to have our 2 or 3 kiddos kind of on a board, and then we can move them over. They were Velcro, and we can move them over. And then so that kind of be cool. You could show successes that way. That way everybody could see it. It doesn't have to be on a Velcro board, but you know what I mean. Just to be able to show kids moving from tier 1 to 2 or 3 to 2 or 2 to 1, something like that to show the successes.
Yeah, that's great. And I remember last year with the Ames Web, we had the lines and we had the colors, and man, how powerful was it the next time we gave assessments. And even if this kid didn't come up, he gained 50 points. Like, that's unreal. So that visual piece is big, and maybe I can bring that to the SIT team meeting next time, and especially when we get the next testing. But just watching that. And another thing you made me think about was the progress monitoring that I can start doing, because I have the ability. I haven't started it yet because we haven't hit the go button. But that's one thing that, as you're talking, makes me think I need to get that progress monitoring going, so now they can see that data also.
Yeah, I like that. Alicia, you made me think about, we always call it like putting faces on the data, right? Like, it means a lot different when it's real faces on it. And so one thing we've also tried to do with some schools is have them identify some marker students and say, okay, everybody pick 1 or 2 kids, and we want you to document really closely what instructional decisions you make with these kids for a while. And then so the way we're doing it this year is at the end of the year, they're actually going to get up and they're going to present specifically on that kid, and they're going to say, at this point we did this, and this is why, and this is the growth we've seen over the last year. And so that puts a little bit of accountability also, and it kind of forces me to not just think about, oh, I'm just trying to move percents around, but really be like, oh, I'm going to have to present on Jimmy. Like,
yeah,
I better give him everything I got.
Yes, those are great ideas. I appreciate everything, and have a great night.